Hi, welcome to the Property Show. I'm Jayashree Kurup. I'm editor MBTV. Today we're talking about the Bengaluru market. We're talking about the plots market. So, what are the things that Bengaluru plot buyers have to check before finalizing their the plot that they're buying? And joining me in this discussion is Rashmi Deshpande. She's a lawyer. There's Amar Kumar and Kranti Reddy. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's immediately talk about the Bangalore plot market. Kranti, which are the hotspots for plots as you see in Bengaluru?
I would say North Bangalore is one of the premium locations looking at the macro trends it was going on earlier. And in the same way, I believe Bangalore is such a metropolitan in shape. There are going to be a lot of urban clusters which are going to be spread beyond the CBD district. So each part of the Bangalore would have its core niche micro markets suiting to the customer demands based upon their travel choices, work locations, and so forth.
Right. Amar, you want to identify some hotspots?
Yes. Because now in the Bangalore market, the Devanelli will be the very hot spot, and as well as Sajjapura. The first priority will be the Devanelli as well as Sajjapura. Then later on, that's Electronic City and Hoskote market will be the very good hotspots. Because now at this point of time, most of the companies is looking to investing in towards airport near into the Devanelli airport. So in that location only we are having two three properties are there, which is fully developed and which is ready for constructing the properties. So this is what my property, which is there at Devanelli, next to the Devanelli town, Devanelli town. Yeah.
So, who's buying plots today? Let's understand the profile of the buyer.
Yeah, as of now, because we've seen this, this is IT professionals will be the most of the people are buying in the area, and the for us in the Devanalli will be having say both all the buyers, like hardware engineers also coming, and people who are is working with the airport, those people also are buyer customers, and now most of the NRS is looking for the property investment in near to the airport. So these all are our buyers.
Kranti, you want to talk about the profile of buyers?
Yeah, I would say it's a mix of an end users and investment driven people looking at plotting. Traditionally, plots have been one of the biggest sources of asset creation classes across the globe. So, if I would say it's more of a mix, and as we move further out of the city, the ratio of investors being part of the project will significantly go high compared to the end users.
Rashmi, when somebody is looking to buy plots, there are certain things that you should keep in mind when you're looking for plots itself. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. Thanks, Jayashree. So, as in any property purchase, due diligence of the property is one of the most crucial aspect of the decision to invest in a plot. And as we look at the profile of the plots that are being offered today, it is more on the outskirts, as Amar and Kranti have rightly said. And here we have multiple issues to deal with, which typically we may not find, in relation to properties which are situated within the city, because these plots are carved out of revenue lands which have been converted, and we may have to go back in time and see how the title has flown, whether it was a grant land, whether there were restrictions on any further transfer of the property, and how the entire extent of land has been aggregated by the developer and is being developed. So, unlike city properties where we see a property being consolidated in one plot, here we will have multiple plots or survey numbers, as they are called, which are aggregated and finally included as part of a larger development. So, the due diligence will have multiple challenges attached to it, right from tracing the antecedent title, ensuring that all family members have joined in, the transfer of the property, that there are no claims of legal heirs, inheritance, or any government restrictions, etc. So title diligence is one of the most important aspect, and secondly, on the development related. So we will have to see whether the plot has been approved by the competent authorities, whether there is the planning authority will have jurisdiction, and depending on where the property is located, the jurisdictional authority will be granting the permission for the plots. And we will also have to see that the developer has provided the infrastructure facilities in addition to ensuring that the property has clean title. Now this infrastructure becomes important because although an individual plot is the responsibility of the purchaser to subsequently obtain the approvals, but in terms of the larger development, the developer has to provide basic infrastructure such as internal roads, providing sewage, water, and electricity connection. So once this development is achieved and the infrastructure is provided, the competent authority gives a release order. So we will have to ensure that all these are in place before a purchaser decides to go in for a plotted development.
So you spoke about the approvals authorities. How many kinds of approvals authorities are there in Bangalore?
In Bangalore, there was a BIAPA, Bangalore International Aero Planning Authority. This will come under the Devanalli. And whereas across the thing, BMRDA, Bangalore Metropolitan Regional Development Authority. And apart from that, BMRICL, Bangalore Mysore Road Infrastructure Corridor Limited. Then one more will be the BBMP and BDA. Very few people will be getting the BBMP as well as the BDA layouts.
Right.
And actually, if I can just add something to it. So after 2017, when RERA has come into effect, we'll also have to make sure that the project is registered under RERA. So plotted development is also covered under RERA, and the developer is required to register the project.
Kranti, if somebody is buying in, say, places that are under in Tumkuru or in Nelamangala Authority and so on, or Hoskote Authority, I think has a different one. How does a consumer know that these are the development authorities which have to give me approvals? How does do you advise your consumers?
Yeah, I think most of the consumers, the moment they decide to buy a property, they would definitely do their research on what is the concerned government authority and what are all the other approvals that needs to be in place. And I'm sure there are a lot of legal experts to guide the customers as well on that part. Yeah.
Rashmi, how do you find a legal expert? If I'm a first-time plot buyer and I've let's assume I've gone to a website like Magic Bricks, identified some plots that interest me. What is the next step? How do I identify a legal expert?
So in India, as per the laws that govern the legal profession, we are not permitted to solicit and advertise ourselves. So most of the clients who intend to purchase properties approach lawyers by word of mouth or through a reference. Sometimes we also note that if there is a broker involved, the broker may have connects with lawyers who will in turn put the purchasers in touch with them, or if the project has been approved by a bank, so the bank will have its own panel of lawyers who would have conducted a due diligence and given a report. So the customers may also approach one of the empaneled lawyers.
Amar, when somebody decides to buy a plot of land, can you get a loan on this property?
Yeah, why not? This property, once you got approval from the concerned authorities like BIAPA, BMRD, or any other authorities, definitely will get a bank loan from various banks. As of now, our property is approved from the LIC Housing Finance, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, and any other national banks also will be getting loan. But for plotting, especially LIC will be giving very aggressive with the loans than other banks.
Do you get loans just to buy plots, or do you get composite purchase plus build?
We can get exclusively plot loans, and if we want to get loan also, we can get it. Because loans, LIC, ICICI, Axis Bank, whereas if you want to get the loan from the SBI and other banks, they'll give only composite loans, any nationalized banks.
Okay. And what are the documents you must have in place before you go to a bank?
Yeah, if it is an employee, if it is a salary employee, he need a Form 16 and he's having 2 years experience, means experience letter, offer letter, 2 years wherever he's working, salary slips, and his ID proof, address proof. All these things are photos is required. That's it. If it is a businessman person, he has to provide 2 years IT, and as well as his income proof, bank statement, 6 months bank statement, ID proof, address proof.
Kranti, Rashmi briefly referred to some of the revenue lands or the DC converted lands that are also being sold. how do you guard your property against any future problems? What are the types of properties that you advise people to buy? And if somebody comes to you first as their first advisor, how do you advise them on checking out properties?
See, at the outright as a developer, we always prefer going for taking in all the approvals required and ensuring that we as well as our customers are benefited from what we are creating value. So per se, we go by what our legal experts say in terms of the legality of the title, land trade, the title trace, and even the consultants in the industry in terms of the concerned approvals, sourcing of all the approvals and all these things. So we are as a principle, we always go by what is there on the books. So it helps us as well as our customers in this current era. I think gone are the days where you can give a discounting to the unapproved, or slightly deviated things. So now it's all high value properties we are dealing with. So it has to be 100% foolproof what we do. Yeah.
So you first plan your project, you get the legal approvals, and then you after that you do basic development work before you go to the market.
Yeah, the first thing
You're
would be
asking me
getting
that?
a 100% clearance from at least 2 to 3 legal experts. We just don't go by one. So preferably these legal experts would be one of the panel members of the M-panel lawyers from the leading banks, so that we get a head start once the project is launched in the market. Once that's done, then we start off with the liaising work for getting the required approvals, and parallelly the development works will be started. And then once the development is going on, then we go to the market for expression of interest depending upon the RERA guidelines.
Amar, we've got somebody who's responded to your this thing about bank loans. What
Okay.
percentage is sanctioned by the bank for composite loans? There's a gentleman called Nath Tiwari asking this.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, Mr. Nag.
What percentage of sanctioned bank? What percentage is sanctioned by the bank in the case of composite loans?
If it is a composite loan, bank will fund up to 80%.
Up to 80%. And if it is simply to buy the plot, how much can you get?
Yeah, we can buy the plot also, we can get it. Because when you are buying the plot in the application form, there will be asking you are looking for the site loan or looking for the composite loan. Composite loan means it's a mandatory, you should construct the house within 18 months.
Oh, if you
First, you should register the site. Yes.
So for anyone who takes a composite loan, you should start the construction within 18 months of getting your loan, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So just to add, it depends. I mean, it depends upon the financial institution we are dealing with. Some have a period of up to 24 months to 36 months as well.
Okay.
So it depends upon the institutions basically who are funding the project.
And the amount of loan you get is the same as
It's pretty much the same. But largely depends upon the individual customer profile, what is their eligibility and the CIBIL, and that's a bank diligence part. Yeah.
And is this similar to a home loan? How different is a plot loan to a home loan? Kranti?
Yeah, largely to say, as long as the customer is constructing the property, constructing the house in the plot within this tenure, it's pretty much similar to the home loan. If as an investor, if he tends to delay the house construction, then again, depending upon the bank to bank, there might be some changes in the terms of the loan per se, increasing the interest rate or changing the tenures, or some, it all depends upon the banks. Some clients might go for pre-closures in such cases and all those things. Yeah.
Amar, loan for just buying a plot, is that considered, is that on par with a home loan, or the interest rates are different?
No. As of now, because LIC is offering both the loans are same rate of interest. If you are looking for composite loan, they may get up to 20 years to 30 years. If you want to for exclusively plot loan, you will be getting only 10 years. That was the difference, but rate of interest will be both are same.
Okay. Rashmi, there are a couple of queries here. What is khata, and what kind of khata land should one buy for residential living?
So, Khata is a revenue document which is issued by the jurisdictional revenue authorities or the panchayat or town municipality or the BBMP, depending on which jurisdiction the property comes under.
Right.
So this is a secondary document which is issued after the person acquires title to the property. So this essentially is to show that the municipal authorities or the revenue authorities recognize the person whose name is entered in the khata as the one who is responsible for paying the property taxes. So khata is essential because non-payment of property tax is can be a charge on the property, and it is an important revenue document to have.
Yeah.
So, depending on which jurisdiction the property is situated, after property is purchased, the person has to make an application and get the khata transferred. But before the plot is sold, it is the developer's responsibility to ensure that each plot has been assigned a separate khata number.
I've got another query here, Ms. Rashmi. There are many developers still selling B Khata sites. How legal are B Khata plots? Is it advisable to buy them?
So, from a strictly legal perspective, we would advise not to go for B Khata properties. So, B Khata is something that has come up in the recent years. It is not strictly a khata, but it is sort of a stopgap arrangement which the authorities have come up to ensure that revenue collection is not impacted. But B Khata is typically issued for properties which may not have clear title or approvals from the authorities, such as revenue lands which have been sold as plots without getting the conversion order or without getting the appropriate orders from the authorities for formation of a layout, etc. Or there could be other issues as well, because of which the authority cannot regularize or legalize these plots. So it is more in the nature of a stopgap arrangement. One has to see what exactly is the issue and then take a decision. But from a legal perspective, my advice would be to refrain from it.
Amar, when consumer comes to you, and do they ask you questions about the khata of the plot? What is the kind of advice you give them?
We'll advise to the people. See, nowadays in Bangalore, there is a two kathas will be there. People will definitely will ask you. One is the A katha, which will come under the BDA limits and as well as BBMP limits. This is the city one, city properties. When you come from the outside of the city, like Bayappa, BMRD, and I told you other authorities, whichever the authorities, will be coming E-Kata. E-Kata means electronic Kata. It is this Kata will be getting after completely developing, and you should get the final permission from the concerned authorities. Then only you will be getting this E-Kata. Until unless if you won't get E-Kata, you won't go for the registration at all. So nowadays government is very, very strict about of the katas. So I am suggesting to the customers whoever want to buy properties, they have to first check the kata first. If the kata is ready and they can go for the registration. Until unless without kata, I'm suggesting to don't go for the any property registration. So B katas definitely government is going to ban shortly. In panchayati areas and as well as government is not allowing to do the registration also.
Okay. In fact, I have a question that has come up. What is the legality of panchayat approved plots in the peripheral areas like Hoskote and Kumbalgodu? We find only these kind of plots. Can we buy them?
Yeah. It's not suggested to buy. Even bank also won't fund under such a properties. It is a customer wish. Customer only why he is buying the particular properties. It is near to the city and that will comes under the green belt zone. So definitely, even if you want to go for the registration also, in registration we've seen many of the cases, people are giving more bribe to the government authorities and doing the registrations. Okay. So I'm suggesting to don't buy such a properties, B katas or any green belt panchayat approval one. Panchayat doesn't have any approvals on the properties. Nowadays, all government people is directly they're forming a body. In the body only you have to get a permission for the any projects.
Yeah, if I can add to that, one has to check the jurisdictional planning authority depending on where the property is located. If it is Hoskote, it comes under Hoskote Planning Authority, which is under the larger umbrella of BMRDA. plots near Bangalore airport will come under Bayappa, etc. So unless it is approved by the competent planning authority, one should not go for the plotted development.
Uh, Help me understand if you buy, and here, Kranti, maybe you can help me. Since you develop in North Bangalore, when projects are near the airport and there are certain other areas, uh, are there restrictions on how much you can build and so on?
Yeah, like if you look at the North Bangalore under the Bayappa, there are norms that you cannot go beyond these certain floors.
Yeah.
So there are concerned regulations and even the lake bodies and all this. There are all defined guidelines by the respective government bodies.
How do plots get priced? For instance, on the same stretch of land, you find different projects have different pricing. So a lot of consumers have asked us, how do I do that price discovery to figure out whether the pricing of that property is correct? Kranti, you
Yeah.
want to explain it to them?
Yes. So there is an intrinsic value for the land depending upon the location per se. And then whatever is the infrastructure development that is being added by the developer is what results in the variance in the price. What sort of premium amenities are being provided by the developer, and what are the kind of infrastructure that is being done within the layout, or what is the width of the road? Is it like a normal 30, or are the developers going for the 60, 100? Going to be my underground electricity, underground drains, STP, how much is the park spaces, open areas, how much is there, what is my clubhouse, what are the luxury amenities being provided. I think all these factors play a crucial role in terms of determining the price, where I would say a variance of about 30 to 40% is well accepted for a well-developed project, rather than the ones which are uh, just formed out of demarcations and normal roads.
Yeah. Does the width of the road on which your plot is matter when it comes to pricing?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a concept of FSI, floor space index, and how much area can be built on a concerned plot. So it all depends upon the access road width. So when the road width is more, the price should be premium, because you will get a higher yield in terms of the built-up area.
So when you say more, could you define that for our consumers?
Yeah, so it depends upon the different regulations as per the area. Let's say 100 feet road might give you about a 2.5 FSI. So if you have a 60/40 plot, so you can go all the way up to around more than 6,000 square feet. So G+2, well within the government guidelines. So no deviation, nothing. So on the other side, if it is a 60, maybe 1.75, and 30/40, it might be, I mean, if it is a 40 feet road or 30 feet road, it might be about 1.5. It depends on those guidelines. Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple more queries coming in. There's Sheikh Naima who says, where can I get information regarding the title of plots, whether it has the necessary approvals, how to check? Rashmi, maybe the Dishank and Bhumi apps, do they help?
No, Bhumi again is a app of the revenue department which shows the name of the person who is supposed to be the khatedar, or who is paying property taxes. Now again, Bhumi has its own restrictions. If we are looking at what is called as a RTC, which is typically given only for a agricultural property. Now, it will not be updated after the conversion of the property. So the name of the person who obtained the conversion will continue to show as the occupant in that RTC. But if we know the property ID number, if we go, suppose a property is within BBMP limits, you can check based on the PID number. So it will give information on whose name is registered and whether property tax has been paid, etc. But again, revenue documents are not necessarily evidence of title. One has to go with the title documents. Now, if a person has to ascertain the title to the property, if it is registered under RERA, so the developer is required to submit a title report and a certificate issued by a lawyer of minimum 10 years experience. And one can go to the RERA website and check if all the title documents, the title report, and the approvals for the project have been uploaded.
Right. Amar, there's one consumer who's asking, do you have to handle the dispute, check the approvals of the plot that you're buying, or should check the entire project? What is the approval status? Is that required?
Yeah, we have to check it before buying. We are buying properties. We'll check all legality.
Hmm.
Then after checking the legality, one set of document will give to the concerned legal panel authority of the bank, any panel authority. Once they give the permission, then only we'll start forming the project.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. And does the consumer have to check that with you? Whether that
not because all the banks will give the panel legal opinion will be there for every project. Even customer they want to check it, they can also go and check it. It's not important. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
But again, they have to pay 10,000 rupees for the lawyer purpose. So they can reduce that fee because already we are having 4 5 bank legal opinions are there with us. They can cross check or scrutiny with that same document.
There's Imtiaz Ahmed who has asked, I'm a customer. What should be my priority to find a good plot in a affordable price? Is there any rule of thumb that you would like to define to consumers when you're looking for plots? Especially because we find a lot of new consumers, new plot buyers coming into the market. Kranti, would you like to?
Yeah. To answer that, it all starts down from what, as a customer, you want to achieve from this sort of investment. Is it for your end use to have your own home in a period of 3 years or 5 years, or just invest and leave it for the next generation? It all depends upon that. Having said that, I have seen customers where this clarity is somewhere. There is a thin line between differentiating these factors. So they go about all the places trying to identify too many projects and then drilling down, and then sometimes the whole point gets gone waste. What I would tell any customer is, what is first, have an objective. What is your investment horizon? What is your need? And then you identify 2 to 3 micro markets, and then drill down to one, and then within these identify 2 projects for each, and then maybe you do a comparative analysis. And there are a lot of trusted portals like Mathebricks who gives a fair idea sitting in front of your laptop what is the general trend. So they are well in the range, maybe 20-30% deviation, but that's all fine. When you go for the site visit, do you have your list? Okay, these are the 4 projects, and then you do, after your site visit, then you can do a real comparative analysis of what exactly you liked in each of these projects. And if you liked something the best, then obviously the price is also the more. So are you okay to pay that sort of premium for that project up class development that's being done? These are the factors that every client needs to really assess the micro level. Because I always feel that there are a lot of property sellers, there are a lot of property buyers, but why there is so much delay in the match? Yeah.
I think people are also worried about how to search for the property, and there is this fear that maybe the title is not clear. We do find a lot of consumers
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
those queries.
See, that is absolutely true. Wherever it is, these days getting the legal checks is utmost priority. No matter how many legal opinions you still have, customer will want to hear a word from his lawyer, whoever he has given the particular expert. That goes without say these days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because we have had instances where several people come to us and say that, hey, listen, I invested X amount of money with this person on the promise that he's going to deliver, and he was known to my uncle, he was known to my friend, or someone known to me had put in money in some project, and I went by that. So we always advise clients that don't go by hearsay. You do your own diligence before investing in any property.
What is a good, today, Amar, there are lots of people who are looking at plots as an investment option. What is a good size of plot, which could get you the best values?
30 40 will be the very comfortable to any customers.
Mhm.
30 40, then people will have the good budget. Then we can go for the 40 by 60, which will be the comfortably for the 3 BHK or 4 BHK house.
Mhm.
And people who is looking for the normal duplex house or something, so 30 40 set is very comfortable to people and is affordable to buy any customer.
Okay. And if I buy a plot in Bangalore, am I allowed to make individual floors and sell them independently as separately registered units?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Okay.
After completing the property, we can make a independent khata again on that,
Uh,
because this area, the Bangalore, the people are allowing G+2
yeah.
in my properties. So after considering the property, then you can make independent khata and you can sell it as a floor wise.
Okay. So, which means that if you invest in that plot today, and if you feel at some point it needs to also fetch you some income, you can sell
Yes, yes.
individual units.
Yeah, so these
Exactly.
are
We
typically,
can keep one
referred to
plot
as
for
the
you and we can
builder
sell two
floor.
plots for any customer also.
Yeah. Sorry, Rashmi?
Yeah, so these are typically referred to as, builder floor properties.
Right. And there's a good demand for that in the market?
Yeah, obviously, because when I'm as a customer, I'm not affordable to consider 1 crore property. So in the 1 crore property, I can make it 3 floors.
Yeah.
One, I can keep it for me, and two, I can sell it as a good profit. Means 40 lakhs, 40 lakhs.
Yeah.
So 20 lakhs, even I can get my own property.
Right. We've got Sheikh Naima who's come back and says, what are the checks that one needs to do if they're investing in the outskirts? Rashmi, you want to take that?
Yes, like I said initially, title diligence is the most crucial aspect, and one has to also check that the conversion order has been issued by the DC, and if the property was in a particular zone and which is now being used for residential purpose, we also have to check that the change of land use order has been issued by the planning authority. Now, conversion and change of land use are two separate concepts, and of course, the development plan for the entire layout and the infrastructure facilities which have been provided for the project, as well as the release order.
Just
Kranti,
to add on that, I would say since the customer is looking on the outskirts, that means he has a luxury of getting a decent property, very good property at a reasonably cheaper price compared to than investing in the city.
right.
So they should also look at what are the kind of infrastructure developments that is bound to happen down the line in a time frame of 3 to 5 years or so. So obviously, it might not be the best of infrastructure being provided at this point of time, but maybe down the line when there is an actual intended use for the investment he is making, how will that whole area evolve at that point of time? That sort of vision, coupled with the how good is this particular project he or she is investing is, because once that is clear, so the developer has done a beautiful project with a lot of premium amenities, which if wouldn't be possible for that customer to buy anywhere within the BBMP or BDA limits. So then that is sorted, taken care of, and then the next thing is the infrastructure developments, which with the time the government and all these evolvement will happen anyway. So I would say those are the two important things to consider as well before investing in the outskirts.
And
Yeah, Prati made a valid point here. I think as people move to the outskirts, we have seen that it is generally the investors who want to buy plots. So they are not the end use residents who may be looking at constructing a house and living there in the near future. So there are multiple aspects that one has to also consider depending on the investment that they are intending to make and the returns that they expect.
right. Yeah, actually, both of you are speaking to consumers, both Amar and Kranti. Help me understand what are the factors, external factors like metro, airport, new roads, and so on. What are the factors that actually determine the value of your plots, and how long does this external infrastructure take to translate into enhanced value of your for your plot? Amar?
Yeah, actually, means in our area there was a airport will be the second runway also is already started now. So there is a huge infrastructure was developing in that area. Hardware park is almost completed, and many IT companies are many hardware companies are already started the operations there in that location, and hopefully we are expecting the new tech park also in that location near to Devanali. It is a 10,800 acres. Already procured the land, everything was completed. So they are about to hand over to the companies, but due to the lockdown, it may take time. But definitely, we'll be having very good market in Devanali airport area.
Okay. Kranti, what are the
Yeah,
drivers?
I think connectivity is a key role. So let's say suddenly in a non-existing metro area, a metro has come up and a metro station is announced within a 2 kilometer radius, then the property prices immediately shoot up because connectivity does matter a lot. And the kind of ease of travel, let's say uh, traveling 45 minutes into the city or 45 minutes beyond the airport, it's all the same, it's more pleasure drive on the outskirts to the outskirts. So with time, as we discussed, this infrastructure and all getting developed, now people are more open to stretch the city limits and have a much more peaceful life beyond the outskirts. Yeah.
Many projects that people are looking at come with a RERA registration number. What does that RERA registration mean? It would be there is somebody who's asking me, what are the factors that the RERA registration promises you? Kranti?
Yeah. I would say 70-80% of the details what any customer would want is already available on the RERA website pertaining to the project. If they log in as a customer and see the project details, everything is up there. So a lot of due diligence would have gone at the back end from the RERA team as well to see what are all the things. And for a developer, what it means is we are being stipulated by a government body which oversees this at a very with a very stern view to ensure that the developers complete the project as per the schedules and all this. So any customer should ideally go for a RERA registered property at this point of time. And I'm sure all the developers, the good developers right now are launching only projects with RERA approvals because that has become a mandatory. And if you are looking for a scale and a good brand name, that's very important wherever it's applicable to have a RERA registration.
Right. I think there is a query that's coming. I can't read the whole query. It says brokers say once the Akram sacrament is, and I don't know the rest of the. Yeah,
It is Akrama Sakrama.
yeah.
Yeah, so if I can just elaborate on that,
Yes.
Akrama Sakrama was a proposal which the BBMP came up with to regularize unauthorized construction. So, as per the current bylaws, if there is a deviation in the sanction plan up to 5%, that can be regularized on paying certain compounding fees. But what we have seen is that the deviation is substantially higher in most of the buildings because the plot sizes are usually in the range of 30-40 or 30-50, 60-40, and where multi-storied buildings are constructed, and the deviation could be more than 100%. So the BBMP came up with a certain plan to regularize the deviation up to certain extent. But this has been challenged before the High Court, and that proposal is not yet implemented.
Okay. Okay.
So this was also seen as a revenue generating exercise by the government, and the courts took a view that you cannot allow the violators to pay certain fees and get away with what the violation that has occurred.
Absolutely. Sometimes the violations are so severe that the infrastructure gets strained significantly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now I'm going to, we've taken most of the queries that have come in, and I'd like each of you to give one closing advice to prospective plot buyers. Let's start with Kranti.
Yeah, I think this whole lockdown experience would have a severe sociological impact on the people as well. The way how they are looking at property purchases might well take a turn for good. And maybe there might be a more tendency to have bigger living spaces and a provision for having work offices, offices at home, and also maybe a backyard, all these things. So maybe the push, the boundaries of the investment in terms of distance might get slightly pushed up because work from home is also going to get a lot of acceptance from the firms. So I would say people have to be very careful, prudent in terms of what is that they want to invest and identify the right project from good developers and get all the due diligence checked by the legal experts. And then I would say it's a good time to strike deals because there are the situations like this open up a lot of investment opportunities for all the stakeholders in the industry. So I would say this is a good time to just sit across the table and grab the best opportunities available in the market in the next quarter. Yeah.
Right. While you were talking, Kranti, there is, in fact, the gentleman who posted, Pragat Chettigar, he was asking about just now the CM announced the Akrama Sankrama to generate revenue. Will this be applied on plots? Rashmi has already answered the query. And there is somebody called Kishore Lalwani who says, a suggestion, if developers are ready to offer flats below ready reckoner rates to the government to buy your ready inventory, for government income tax something, I'm sure government will stop building and utilize that money reserved for the same to buy from developers. That will bring big money into the real estate markets. That's a suggestion that he's given. Amar, Kranti referred to the COVID lockdown, right? And how it's an opportunity. What do you think? Will this enforced lockdown change consumer interest in plots, larger properties, like Kranti said?
Yeah, because now I seen in the Bangalore many of the customers who's living in the apartment societies and something, people they want to come out from the apartments. Okay, they want to build their own plotting. Plotting means they have their own liberty. They can do however they want. They can enter the house, and they can form their own rules and regulations. Even I am also living in society. There is a lots of rules and regulations was passed in my society. So such a people wants liberty. Definitely they will come out and they will buy the properties in the society, plots only.
Okay, and do you think that more end users will get into the plots market?
Yes, exactly. Because now the plot will be the very good market in future.
No.
Open
Uh,
plot will be a good plot. Yeah.
yeah. Rashmi, your closing comments to consumers?
Yeah, like an investment in a plotted development has a much larger horizon than investing in a ready-to-live apartment or a under construction apartment. So this, like Amar and Kranti have already said, this is the an opportune time for people to consider the investment. But my advice would be to not rush into any decision under these circumstances, to conduct the due diligence in a proper manner, ensure that all the approvals are in place, and put your money where you can see that there is a real scope of the investment appreciating.
Right. And while you're locked in, while you're sitting at home, this is a great opportunity for you to log on to sites like Magic Bricks, check out what options are available to you. Normally, there are a few rules of thumb. If it is near your place of work, if there is if you're somebody who likes to go out for shopping and entertainment and so on, buy where the social infrastructure is good. Always make sure that your basic facilities are there, or at least there is a provision for those basic facilities. And one of the things that we have noticed is a lot of people are looking at plots within safe gated communities with all the legal approvals in place. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that we will be able to bring you back on our shows to answer a lot more consumer queries. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
May I have a good day?
Remain safe.